Williamson is 10 times the world champion. Bax and Stupilis, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin van Luken certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable.
Okay, so, sorry, so technical difficulty there. The last chance is just going out onto the circuit at the moment. Now, of course, this will be the riders that didn't qualify, but looking to put themselves through and onto the gates tomorrow. Now, one notable rider who's there is Marco Heinzer and Rudy Betschart. They were running in a strong position up until the final lap of their race, and that means that they are there at the top of the last chance starting list, as you can see. That's the Swiss pairing on number 19. Then you've got the Hrok pairing on number 21. And alongside them will be the Bukal pairing, also from the Czech Republic. Dylan Bussy, Steve Deschat, number 35. You've got Ida Bitson, Lenher, Chantelo, Hoffman, Hamad, and the lights. You've got Van der Lagermaat, Van Haal in there also. They'll be looking to put themselves inside that all-important top 6 and into the races for tomorrow. So, of course, this is slightly different to the qualifying races. The last chance only goes off your quickest lap. And okay, so we're already in the pits. We have Justin Cuban down with Steve, so we'll head over to there and see what he has to say.
So we are down here in the pit box waiting for the guys to go round on their sighting lap, ready for this last chance qualification. I'm here with Justin Cuban. Justin, you had a reasonably good race. Obviously a new passenger again this week. You've had a difficult couple of weeks with passengers. How are you feeling? Comfortable for tomorrow?
Yeah, we have a good passenger at the moment, the passenger number 9, so it's pretty difficult to find the good setting for every passenger. But I think we managed it again, and hope yeah, we have a good feeling for tomorrow.
So good luck for tomorrow, Justin, and thank you.
There is Justin Cuban. He's feeling confident ahead of tomorrow's 2 races. I am joined by Joe Millard, who of course took the race win alongside Jake Brown in the Group B qualifying race. So if you was in this situation, Joe, what kind of thing would you be doing? Just trying to go for the quickest lap, get the best setup as well?
Yeah, I think you got to try and get a banker lap in the beginning. So your first lap is so important, just to get that banker in, and then try not to do 2 or 3 in a row. It can really tire you out, and then just try and get that lap in, and just regroup and have a look around, see how it works.
So yeah, I can imagine once you got that banker in, you got enough time to also do some minute changes to the setup, I guess.
Yeah.
Give you a bit more track time as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, of course, especially if you're in Group A and then you've got the last chance. Obviously, the track's changed quite a bit since your race. So, yeah, it's important to try and have a good look at the track and then possibly come in and change the suspension a bit if you feel you need to. Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, that's what these guys will be doing out on the circuit. We've got 14 riders, I believe. So, of course, 6 of those, the quickest 6, will go through to the races for tomorrow. And we'll have 2 reserves as well. So one man, as I say, who will be looking to capitalise on his earlier pace is Marco Heinzer and Rudy Betschart. They were running strong before a mechanical issue, I believe, halted their chances.
Yeah, it's a shame for them because they really get out of the start normally and have a good ride. But of course, they're going to be on the second row tomorrow, so they've got a difficult day coming up. As long as they get through this.
That's it, yes. Have to try and get the elbows out and shove as many people out the way as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to get that clear lap as well. There's 14 on the track, so it's quite a few as well.
Yeah, I know for your race, there's obviously more than 14 riders out on the circuit. But you looked as though in the early stages you had enough time and pace to kind of see what Arnie Deakins was doing, analyse where he was strong, where he was slower, and in the end see where you could overtake and make the move.
Yeah, that's it. We lined him up for the first sort of 2 laps up where we passed him, and it was yeah, we were pushing on, but we sort of wanted to get past him quick because we knew Van Lucian was behind and Barrett was behind, and we had to try and make that break. So yeah, luckily we managed to slip by and then make a small gap. So it was nice.
Yeah, what made me laugh is that I was speaking to Jake before the race, and he said he felt like he was losing time during that part of the section. And when I see him make a move for the lead, I thought, well, yeah, you managed to find the time you said you were losing.
Yeah, no, it was yeah, great move obviously on the exit of the left-hand corner. So it was we had a bit more grip than them on the right chairs, and that's what made the difference in the end.
So in the early stages of this last chance race, we've got Harop on the provisional pole, I guess, with a 2:10.8. And that will surely be better.
Just put the fastest lap in now.
Wow, 2:06.3. So already going for the quick times. That is Ida Bitson and Lenher, who look as though they have mechanical failure. You can see both riders are perfectly okay. It looks as though they were looking down at the engine on the right-hand side.
On the first lap, that's not good signs.
Especially when the risks and stakes are as high as what they are in the last chance.
Yeah.
So Heinzer and Betchart, Hoffman and Strauss up into second. Harop now down into third. Van der Lagemat, Van Haal fourth. Bukal fifth. Busi and Deschat in sixth. So that will change over the course of the next 23 minutes or so. Just on your screen there, that is Thomas Hamad and Villains. Just front wheel maybe went a little bit higher than what they anticipated. Had to put all the weight as far forward as they can. Now, if you're in that situation, do you, as a passenger, do you lean forward and try and get the front down as much as possible?
Yeah, you try and lean forward a bit. It's always difficult on the smaller jumps to correct it because obviously you've got less time in the air, but on the big ones you can normally got enough time. But yeah, you need to try and keep that front down if you can.
Okay, so call it ignorance or something, but I never realised how much influence the passenger has over the machine and its characteristics and behaviour, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. One mistake for a passenger, it can, it alters the bike massively. So you've got to be concentrating 100% all the time, especially on the big jumps. Also, so it's yeah.
Yeah, this part of the circuit looks fairly technical as well for the. For yourself as a passenger.
Yeah, this has changed a bit over the years. This is new, this section here, and with the chicanes you've got to be so quick. That's not ideal with chicanes like that, but I mean, yeah, it seems to be working nice.
Yeah, so you see, excuse me, Hamad and Villains just going through the chicane there. And this one especially, I was walking around the track the other day, and this part of the circuit where you go right uphill, flick it to the left.
It looks a tricky little jump there.
Because Sanzo Steve is down in the pits with one of the riders, and we'll be able to go over to him and see what they've got to say.
So back here in the pit box, I'm here with Mr. Castro Rodrigo, the race director. Everything has gone well today. You are happy with things?
Yeah, thank you, Steve. The day went quite well. We had no really big accidents or incidents, so the racing was a good one. I think the club did a great job with the track. The track is much different from past years, much wider, I think safer. We'll try for sure for tomorrow, to improve the watering. We had a little bit of dust, too much for our taste. But I think that everybody is really eager to have a good racing tomorrow. Well, from my side, everything was perfect. No really big remarks to give to. So just thank everybody that has been working a lot for this racing.
Thank you, Rodrigo. Thank you for spending some time.
Yeah, Rodrigo Castro there, putting in some good words for us today. And still, as it stands, Heinzer and Betchart's put in that bank lap, it would seem, as you mentioned earlier, Joe, with a 2:06.387.
Yeah, I think they're pretty safe with that. Big gap down to 6th for them, 8 seconds on 6th place. So normally that day's work is done.
Yeah, the kind of lap times we were seeing previous to today, kind of looking at the lower 2 minutes, kind of like 1:58, 2 minute area. That's the kind of times that Van Leeuwen was putting in.
Yeah, Van Leeuwen had some real quick lap times today, so it's yeah, interesting to see.
Yeah, so with a track like this, is it more important to carry the corner speed, is it? Because it looks as though it's kind of stop-start, especially the final sector where you go down. And
yeah, it's difficult, the back section, because it's one of them tracks where if you push too hard, you're just losing too much time. So you've got to concentrate so much on the left corners and make sure you don't go in too fast. And you can actually then, if you're going a little bit slower, you can get a better exit, and then you're actually quicker.
So it's all a game of give and take, going slow, come out faster.
Yeah,
or,
yeah, in certain parts of the track. Obviously, with the way the track's going, it's all blue grooves now on the ground. So I think they're going to struggle watering tomorrow because it makes it real like an ice rink then, and then it'd be interesting to see how it pans out then. We'll have some good action in the first few laps of the race, I think.
You can see the just notice right-hander, all the dirt that's been pushed to the outside. So in your position, would you look to go to the outside and try and find the grip? And okay, it sounds as though we've got Marco Heinz down in the pits there with Steve. He's currently on provisional pole. Let's see what he's got to say.
So we're down in the pit box with Marco Heinz. Marco, a reasonable good time for you. Are you happy, or do you think you can go faster?
It was a very good lap. I think it's good for the first passenger, but I can't a little bit faster.
So Marco is saying there he can possibly take a little bit more time out of what he was doing. Unfortunately, they are in this position because they had electrical problems in the race. So hopefully you can put some faster lap times in, and good luck.
Thank you.
So it's the electrical problems that had hampered Marco Heinz in his efforts to put himself in a good choice for the gates tomorrow. But as it stands, he's about 3.8 seconds ahead of second place at the top of the timesheets at the moment. So it's Hoffman-Strauss, the Swiss pairing, in second place ahead of Hrok. And it's Van der Lagemark, Van Hal that you see on your screen there. They're currently in fourth place. So as it stands, they would go through onto the second row of the gates. And behind them on the times, it's Bukal and then Prokesh Schmidt. We've got the two reserves, that's Dylan Boosie and Steve Deschat in seventh. And behind them is Chantelope and Lilage. And of course, we've got the five riders who, if they want to get onto the gates tomorrow, they'll have to pull the pin and put in some quick lap times.
Yeah, this is looking like a good lap here. Be interesting to see if they improve.
So when it comes to the last chance, does as it stands, this Van der Lagemark in fourth, would that mean he gets fourth choice on the second row? Is that how that works, or?
No, so obviously they'll go, so Heinz will be looking at 25th to the line, so then second will be 26th, 27th, 28th,
okay.
29th. So the top 12 from obviously A and B go through. Did he improve then?
Yeah, 12. Okay, I've got, yeah,
He's gone up to third now.
Third, yeah.
So good lap.
Yeah, 3.7 seconds behind Heinz and Betcher. It's about half a second behind the second place rider. So just taking it slowly over this one. During the practice sessions, do you talk to Jake and tell him where you'd like to go, or does he make all the decisions? How does that work between driver and passenger?
Yeah, you sort of.
But we'll find out in just a second, but Steve is down there with Fabian Hoffman, it seems. Let's see what he's got to say.
Here with Fabian Hoffman, second place at the moment. Can you go faster?
Yes, I think the lap was okay, but I think we can a little bit faster.
So there again, everybody wants to go faster, everybody wants to ride tomorrow. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, so a very confident sounding Fabian. As soon as Steve finishes questions, he goes, yes, I can go faster.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what he can pull out the bag in the remaining quarter of an hour. But yeah, as I say, do you talk to Jake and tell him what you'd like? Or?
Yeah, as you see now, these are two are chatting here. Yeah, and there's always bits you feel, you know, you could go a little bit faster. So you'll try and comment to Jake, or Jake will say to me about trying something different. So yeah, you do sort of chat, but it's yeah, it's so hard to get a perfect lap on these sort of tracks, because you have a bit of wheel spin and you just losing a little bit of time, and you know, but yeah, you do, you know, you try and improve the pair of you like together.
Yeah, for me, when I was watching it, it's kind of like two separate guys thinking of one, and they need to obviously yourself and Jake need to kind of know each other's moves before they do them.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's yeah, it's not always easy to read what they're going to do, but it's you know, you try not to change too much really. Yeah, stick to your lines, and then.
Yeah, it looked as though when you were doing your qualifying race, you kind of found your line. You knew where you wanted to go, and it worked.
Yeah, we didn't change lines too much in the race, and we just kept hitting the same lines, and once we were in the lead, it was yeah, it was really nice.
Keep chipping away at it. Yeah,
that's it. Try to make no mistakes, and
yeah, that's the all-important thing. See, Tom van der Lagerma and Van Gaal just pulled into the pits there. 13 minutes to go, probably just making a few minute adjustments to give themselves the edge over the opposition.
Yeah, have a bit of water, and then I think we'll see everyone on the track again in the last 10 minutes, trying to improve their times.
So there is Thomas Hamard and Villains as well. Looks as though they're not in a rush to get themselves out at the moment.
There's not many people on the track now.
No, you've got the Czech pairing of Hrok there, just coming down the bottom part of the circuit. Now this is the bit where it looks all very technical, coming into the chicane just after this jump.
And this is a tricky jump, this one on the corner. It can, yeah, it can catch you out very easily.
Yeah?
Yeah. But then also this chicane and then this little double here. It's new this year, and yeah, it's an interesting little jump.
So got to be very physically able just to kind of throw yourself from one side to the other, especially when you've got the jump in the middle as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's not.
Yeah. So at the moment it is Heinz and Betschart, but Van Lagermaat is down in the pits and with Steve.
Here in the box with Tom van der Lagermaat, lying third at the moment. Tom, is the track coming to you? Is it getting quicker, or can you go quicker?
The track is not getting quicker, but I think I can get quicker because I had some little mistakes in the in our fast lap, the last lap, and I think we go try again to I think get the first place of the second place. Sorry, second place close to our time, so gonna try one more time, and otherwise it's good enough to qualify. Happy to race tomorrow. I think it stays like this. So.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. Good luck.
Didn't seem the most confident person I've seen, but still with his second place time, it looks as though he is third place now. Third place, he'll be in a good position to get himself into the race tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, a few minute changes just to find those extra tenths or seconds to put himself potentially second. That is Engelbrecht and Maas just making their way around the far end of the circuit. Yeah, looks as though they didn't quite get their lines as good as they wanted to. But just coming over the jump, they'll be heading into the right-left flick any moment now. So yeah, Engelbrecht and Maas, the German and Dutch pairing there on the number 121 bike. There's a four-stroke machine that they're on, and of course you ride a two-stroke, I believe. Yeah, Steve was telling me yesterday in the paddock that there's a lot of different. There's not too much of a difference in the way over the course of a lap, but the way it delivers its power is just completely strange.
Yeah, I think, especially if they water it tomorrow, I think the two-stroker struggle in the beginning a little bit, whereas like Stuart Brown on the four-stroke and some others on the four-stroke have a good first few laps. But yeah, there's pros and cons to the two-stroke and four-stroke, but they're all pretty much the same, really.
Okay, that's fair enough. So You see on the screen that's number 31, but it sounds as though we're going to go back down to the pits with Steve. Let's see who he's nabbed now.
Here with Julian Veldman. Julian, rode with your brother this yet today. How was it? How did you feel? Comfortable?
Yeah, I felt good. It's Samu's first time, and yeah, we struggled a little bit in the free practice, but it was getting better and better. I feel like we did, and yeah, it went well. 5th place in the qualifying, so yeah, it was good.
So good luck for tomorrow, and thank you for your time.
Julian Veldman then looking forward to the races tomorrow with his brother, who's of course only 16 years old. He normally races in the Dutch Nationals Championship, I believe, so he's putting in a good performance. He managed to finish 5th in their qualifying race. But on screen now you can see the number 31 machine of Jan and Pavel Bukal.
Yeah, they're 6th at the minute, so everyone wants their position. So trying to get another better one in just to make sure they get in.
Yeah, it looks as though they're pushing on this lap as well. You see them coming over the top of that jump. They'll go into that flick to the right, then left over the top of the jump. We'll have to see what kind of lap time they pull out of the bag this time around. 9 minutes to go. And, you see Marcus Proschek and Patrick Schmidt.
They're currently 7th, so they need to pull something out of the bag to get in that top 6. So going back out now.
Local men as well, of course, both German.
Yeah.
So they were looking to impress the home crowd as well. Just getting that 2-stroke machine fired up and ready to give it another go with 8.5 minutes left. Dylan Busey and Steve Deschat in 8th place. Chantelope and Lalage in 9th. Heinzer and Betchart, the Swiss pairing on number 19, still in 1st with a 2:06.387. That lap time was, of course, set in the early stages of this last chance race. There is Prokesh and Schmidt, who's coming out of the pits now. As you say, they're in 7th at the moment, about 7.5 seconds or so behind the lead-in time, but 4 seconds or so behind 2nd place. Looked as though the machine looked a bit unstable over that jump.
Yeah, they didn't manage to do the other two doubles there, but still pushing on.
Of course, with the rolls as well. Once you screw up the first one, you've lost so much time by the time you come out of it.
Yeah, the first one is so important to get right.
So yeah, we're just looking at number 71, that's Patrick Schmidt in the passenger seat. So yeah, Steve was telling me that some riders put their foot forward as they head towards the right-hander, as we see Patrick doing there. But do you prefer to go around the outside?
Yeah, that's how I've always done it. So it's sort of like habit, really. So it's difficult to change once you've started like that. So it's yeah, it makes it interesting doing it different. You know, so
is there any sort of advantage still also if you were to go through around instead of through, or is it just literally personal?
No, it's just personal preference, really. I think. Yeah, it's just however you're used to.
Yeah, you can see Patrick Schmidt puts his foot through, so toes point towards the corner, whereas I can imagine yours are kind of the other way, where you kind of put your toes inwards and aim with your heel.
Yeah.
Harakov putting a better time, the Czech pairing on number 21. They're now 2.7 seconds behind Heinzer and Betchart. Hoffman and Strauss in 3rd. Van der Lagemat and Van Hout in 4th place. Hamard and Villains in 5th. And then rounding out the top 6 is Bukal. Prokesh and Schmidt still there in 7th place and 1st of the reserves. Dylan Busey and Steve Deschat, the 2nd of the reserves. So as it stands, it's Chantelope, Girardin, Engelbrecht, 9th, 10th and 11th there. They'll be looking to put in quicker times and see if they can make it out onto the gates tomorrow. Just on screen there, we're looking at the number 71 bike of Marcus Proschek and Patrick Schmidt.
He was 7th before that lap. Let's see if he improved.
Patrick just having words with Marcus as they come around the first corner. Still looks as though they're in 7th place, about 1.1 seconds behind the all-important top 6. So we're going to have to make it pretty quick if they're going to try and have a chance of going inside the top 6. We've got about 5.5 minutes left or so.
I think they're going to get one more lap in, aren't they? They need to give it everything.
Just have a look at how Patrick positions himself, even on the slow lap. You can see he kind of moves his hands about.
Yeah, resting the arms. Oh, Czech pairing of
Harakizet.
Yeah, he's just got second.
Rock into second as Van der Lagemat, Van Gaal fourth, Hamad fifth, and Bukau in sixth.
Van der Lagemat on one now, so see if he can improve again.
See how much they're pushing, just locking the rear wheel, getting it all sideways as they head up towards the right-hander. Van Gaal hanging off the right-hand side of the bike as they plunge down into the left-hander once more. Van Gaal and Van der Lagemat on a quick one, as you say, looking to try and make up as much time as they can. They currently sit in 5th place, 3.7 seconds behind Heinzer and Betschart, the Swiss pairing. Okay, so Heinzer and Betschart, there's Hoffman in 3rd, Hamad in 4th, and we go back over to Steve to see who he has caught this time around. Okay, no we don't. We have number 99, Van der Lagemat, still on screen. Van der Lagemat and Van Gaal about halfway through the lap at the moment. They're still looking as though they're making up time. It's a fairly quick one, I'd say, just from a visual.
See if they get this jump done on the corner here.
Hopefully the slow rider doesn't come into play as they come into the right-left chicane. They don't, so that's fortunate for Van der Lagemat and Van Gaal.
Yeah, perfectly, that double.
So into the right-hander and over a small jump, I believe, and then before the he prepares himself for the big tabletop jump we've got here.
Perfect over there.
So this lap is coming together for Van der Lagemat and Van Gaal. Not too much of a lap left to go.
Heinz is looks like he's going to put one more in now.
Number 31, that is the pairing of Jan and Pavel Bukau. They currently sit outside of the all-important top 6. Van der Lagemat and Van Gaal still 5th place. We'll have to wait to see where they've put themselves as it refreshes. Bukau in 6th place. So we're 5.3 seconds off the quickest time we've seen in this session of a 2:06.387 still. But yeah, as you see off the screen, we have Heinzer and Betschart still looking to find those extra beat pieces of time. Bukau just coming around the far end of the circuit. They've got one more tight right-hander before the plunge down, and then back towards the main part of the circuit. So 2 minutes left for riders to put themselves inside the top 6. That's Prokesh Schmidt, the German pairing. Dylan Bouty, Steve Deschat, the Belgians. It's Chantelope Lelage, the Frenchmans. And Gerard Juin. Engelbrecht and Maas also outside the top 6 in 11th place on the 1-2-1 bike. But still Heinzer and Betschart looking fairly secure in their position at the moment. Harak still went faster with he's now 1.7 seconds off of the quickest time. Van der Lagemat, Van Gaal up into 4th, Hamad Villains 5th, Bukau in 6th. So before Belgium, I hadn't ever been to a dirt meet, so this will be the first tabletop jump I've seen. So is that one of the big ones? Would you class as that, or is the?
It's funny. Some years ago it was the biggest one, but now it's a pretty simple one. Maybe 8 or 9 years ago, only 4 or 5 people were doing it, but now everyone can sort of do it. It's tricky to judge your speed for it, but it's got a nice landing, so you can over jump it a little bit. But yeah, it's still a decent size, but not as big as they are now.
I can imagine as well, if you land it perfectly, it gives you the perfect line and into the left-hander that you've got to encounter afterwards.
Yeah.
Just see somebody going a little bit slow coming out on the left-hander.
Yeah, he hasn't done enough, the German pairing. They're still 7th, so first reserve position. They won't get another lap now, so
So that is everything that Prakash and Schmidt had to offer. They've put themselves 7th overall, and as you say, first reserve. Dylan Bussey and Steve Deschat, the second of the reserves. No, I can't. Mark, I can't imagine I'll be happy with that, but yes, Steve is down there in the pit lane, and we'll flip over to him now.
So the last couple of seconds down here in the box, and it is Marco Heinz is still on top of the leader pack, with Horich in second. Hoffman there is in third, Van der Lagermaat is 4, Hamard is 5, and Buchel is 6. And that is the time we have now finished. So everybody will be in for tomorrow. Let's hope we have some fantastic racing.
Okay, so there we go. Heinzer and Betchart have done enough with their 206.387. They'll be happy with that to put themselves on the gates for tomorrow. Van der Lagermaat, Van Houw in 4th, Hamad Villains 5th, and as you say, Steve, Buchel in 6th place as well. Prakash and Schmidt, the first of reserves, and alongside him on the reserve list will be Dylan Bussey and Steve Deschat. Riders who won't be there will be Chanteloup, Lalage, Girardin and Guin, Engelbrecht and Mass also. There is Heinzer and Betchart just making their way around the circuit. They'll be coming into the pits and potentially be looking to make a few setup changes or something during the night and into tomorrow.
Yeah, potentially, yeah. Ready to try something probably in morning practice. So it'd be interesting to see how much water they put on tonight for the practice in the morning.
I did notice that the water that they put on, you still have the dust that comes up as well, which was getting progressively worse throughout the race, it would seem.
Yeah, it's sort of difficult on this circuit also because it blows across to the bottom straight from their left-handers, so you're getting dust from a different part of the track across. But again, with the blue groove, they struggle to put a lot of water on because it just makes it icy and then it's a bit dangerous. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do for tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So the final couple of riders just coming through.
Ja, Rudersberg. Ich denke, wir sehen uns dann gleich in dem Festzelt oder wo auch immer, spätestens dann morgen. Und ja, wie gesagt, es war eine coole Veranstaltung heute. Und ich freue mich schon auf morgen. Also, wir sehen uns. Bis morgen.
Okay, so there is the starting list for the races tomorrow. It's Stuart Brown and Josh Chamberlain who will get first pick ahead of Jake Brown and Joe Millard. I recognise that name for some reason. Yeah. So you'll be starting with the second choice after finishing first in the Group B qualifying. Etienne Bax and Casper Stupelis third. Then it's Deerkins Bax, Hermans Mousset, Van Luken and Van den Bogart. Then it's the Couche Cousins, Varric and Diders, Van Verven and Larry Kunas in ninth. Julian Veldman and his brother Sam Veldman rounding out the top 10. Bastien Thomas and Le Breton will be 11th to pick their gate, ahead of Kolenchik and Head Howell. And it's the British pairing of Dan Foden and Paul Horton. And of course, Dan Foden has changed his sidecar from one side to the other for this weekend. So he'll be looking to, as well as putting a good performance, he'll be looking to get some experience with the alternate side of the sidecar. There's George Kins, Lewis Gray ahead of Compilati and Chopin. Marco Heinzer and Rudy Betchart there in 25th after finishing the last chance race in first, ahead of Harok, Hoffman, Van der Lagermaat, Hamad and Buchel. But the riders who did qualify was Normack, Peter, Pruma and Sieber. Lots of German pairings for this weekend, of course, with it being the final round of the World Championship in Germany. And we'll have to see how the home heroes go tomorrow. Okay, so that concludes all the action here from Rudersberg today. We will catch you tomorrow for both races, of course, on social media and the FIM Sidecarcross page. So from me, Bradley Hicks, thank you very much, Joe, for joining us. And we'll see you all tomorrow. And good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Peterson is 10 times the world champion. Bax and Stupilis, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin Van Lukener certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable.